What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Keep It Hoop YouTube channel. Today we'll be looking at Deni's perfect NBA debut, where he scored 15 points on, I think, 6 of 6 shooting. Um, Super impressive. Yes, it's just preseason, but for an NBA rookie to be, he looked pretty comfortable. He was playing at his own pace. The shooting was something that we pointed out as one of the keys to his success early on. That looked fine. And yeah, so we'll break that down. It's gonna be a little bit of a shorter video. Some of our recent videos were going, 35, 40 minutes. So we're gonna try to create some shorter videos also. Before we get started, if you could hit the thumbs up, subscribe button, and notification bell button, be great. And comment below on if there's any other players or teams you want us to break down. And follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WordPress, and all that. And the links will be in the description underneath. So, with that being said, let's start. Um, I think he's going to be off the ball a decent amount to start the season. You have Russ and Bradley Beal, who are both guys who excel with the ball in their hands. And you still have to get guys like Hachimura touches. That being said, it doesn't hurt to have too many ball handlers as long as they are fine with doing things off the ball as well. And what I mean by that is, right, you don't want guys like Kyrie, Harden, what's another example? And Russ, right? Like, obviously, they're never going to play on the same team, all three of them together, and Russ and James Harden play on the same team together. But if you have guys that can only play with the ball in their hands, then it becomes a problem. But if you have a team like Golden State was a good example, where Clay can handle the ball a little bit, right? Draymond can handle the ball, and then you have Steph and KD who could handle the ball. But those guys could all, with exception of Dre to a degree, could play without the ball too. Then it helps to have as many playmakers and guys who can handle the ball as possible. And in the Wizards, I think Bradley Beal can at least still play without the ball a little bit. He played with John Wall, and he's a good enough spot up shooter and cutter where I don't think it matters as much. And Deni, as long as he can keep his outside shooting up, I think he'll be fine. He has size, so I think there'll be times where he can just take advantage of mismatches, maybe down low or just cutting. And again, as long as the shooting is there, he can play off the ball while giving the Wizards enough ball handling when they need. Um, so catch and shoot opportunities like this, as long as this is going in, he's going to help this team a lot. Just spreading the floor for Russ and Bradley Beal and Hachimura. Um, but again, here I think you're going to see times where it's going to be interesting to see how Scott Brooks kind of decides how and which lineups to go with. You can get creative and put, Deni and Russ, Deni and Bradley. Obviously, Brad and Russ are going to play a lot together, but he can handle the ball and good pass there. I think these are the plays where I'm not comparing him to Luka off the bat, but just having experience playing in professional leagues and then you know being a guard or having guard skills at that size can translate, even if you don't have elite athleticism or anything like that, right? So again, catch and shoot, the form looks good, it's confident. um, Nice one-legged floater there, the ability to um, you know push the ball at that size off of a miss. um, Difficult to stop. See again, Washington trying to push it. I mean, this is just bad defense, but again, it's made three is a made three. And, you like to see him shooting with confidence. Here he is rejecting the screen against Torian Prince, who's a solid defender. Tough floater, really, over Jared Allen, who's a really good shot blocker as well. I will say something that I want people to take. Um, well, this is what before I get to that, this is what I was talking about just being able to take advantage of mismatches. Um, he has the height advantage and is able to just back him down. Good patience, good footwork to go across the paint, gathers. Um, one thing he does need to um, make sure is he doesn't to just make sure he doesn't lose the ball here. He does cuff it, but nice little hook floater going sideways. The one thing I did want to I guess just the one reason why I do want to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt. One, it is preseason, but um some of the shots he made were very difficult, and the fact that he made them shows that he is capable of making them. But some of the floaters he made were difficult. Those aren't shots you 100% want to fall in love with or live with. Um, so those are things like those aren't automatic. Those aren't going to go 100% of the time. Again, the tough shot with DeAndre in his hand. Like, how many times he makes this in an NBA season or a shot like this? I don't know. That's something we're just gonna have to keep an eye on. And again, it's. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. There's two sides of it. The fact that he can make them at all is impressive. But if these are the shots that he's gonna have to continuously make when the season starts, then you might see his field goal percentage, be in the low 40s or drop. The open threes he's gotten, you know, he can make them. Those are the shots he might get a decent amount of, like, playing with Russ and Brad, even Hachimura. But as the defensive intensity picks up, as people get scouting reports on him, those aren't shots that are always going to be there. And if he can't create more space than some of the shots here, or um, like this floater he ends up making here, um, that's when you might see him starting to struggle a bit. So that's just something I do want people to keep an eye on. And again, I was excited. It was nice to see him coming out looking comfortable. His jump shot was, I think even better than I expected. And granted, they were wide open, but again, shooting it with confidence, fluid motion, and um, obviously Wizards fans are happy and optimistic. And we talked about in our podcast episode of the I guess right after the draft that he was one of the steals of the draft. I think him and Halliburton went lower than expected, and uh, I thought Washington absolutely got a steal. That being said, again, I do think it needs to be taken with a grain of salt. 15 points on perfect shooting is impressive. I'm not trying to downplay it. These are difficult shots that, again, is impressive that he made, but I do think as defenses key in on him at times, and the wear and tear of the long NBA season, gets to him. Um, if these are the only types of shots he's gonna have to take, then his shooting percentages will take a big hit. Um, because again, yeah, he made them in this game, but it's really difficult if these are the only shots you're taking, right? And again, the wide open threes, I'm sure they'll still be there. But I think the big question then becomes, and this is kind of what was one of the few weaknesses going into the draft that people had about him, and I think a lot of it is a little similar to Luka. And again, I'm not saying he's gonna be Luka, and I'm not saying there's a direct player comp there, but in terms of just like having the size, being a bigger point guard or being a bigger player with point guard like skills, Um, but the one weakness that both of these guys had going into the draft was the questions about their ability to create space and um, get open shots for themselves without the athletic or without the athleticism or the you know, insane vertical quick first step. And I would say Luka actually has a pretty quick first step. What people might call a deceptively quick first step. You know, it's not, again, it's not Russ, it's not um John Morant, it's not Russ again, but like it's still, you know, and Luka's shown that with his basketball IQ, experience, and his shooting really does help because people have to play up to him so he can kind of still, you know, find creases. Luka's, you know, shown and proven time and time again that he can create space and shots for himself. Um, and we've seen, if you watch highlights of Deni, you know, when he was overseas, he too has a little step back that he likes to go to, and with his size and, you know, his average to what we now see is possibly an above average jump shot, you know, he doesn't necessarily need to be wide open. But you know, in terms of driving and getting to the rim, because one thing about Luka is he's strong, right? He has that kind of James Harden-esque body type where he can take contact and he has such good balance. So when people foul him and when he's, you know, has these euros and somewhat awkward, um, I guess, side steps or elongated steps like we talked about last episode, he's able to still finish um, on balance and get a good shot off. Denny's a little bit more skinny, a little bit more. His body isn't fully built out yet, so you know him driving on some of those awkward finishes might be harder for him. Again, we only have so much, you know, really just have this clip or this game to go by so far, at least in the NBA. And obviously he looked good in Europe, which is why he went, you know, lottery pick. And I'm just again playing devil's advocate and trying to nitpick because again I have high expectations for him. I think he's a good player. I think he'll be fine. But these are things that if you're, you know, looking for, I wouldn't even call them red flags, but things to just be cautious of. Um, you know, I don't want people watching this game. All right, he went 15 points on perfect shooting. All right, he's going to come into the league and average 26. I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, just seeing how much space he can create with the lack of explosiveness. Um, because again, creating space is such an important skill to have, and not everybody has it. Obviously, right? Only the best players in the league have it. Um, again, I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. He does have size. He has, you know, experience playing against pros, and he's playing with Bradley Beal and Russ, so he's gonna get open shots as well. Um, so this was obviously a shorter video. I'm gonna try to do these as well. You know, we'll have some of the 20, 30-minute longer breakdowns. And, you know, maybe I'll do a longer breakdown of Deni once we get more film on him. Um, I think we're going to do one on THT from the Lakers as well. You know, his 30-point game. Again, preseason, but some of these guys that, you know, whether they're rookies or younger guys, preseason is really time for them to show out and, you know, either get playing minutes or, you know, sometimes these guys don't end up staying with the teams, but end up getting picked up by a different team. But these are really good opportunities for these guys, and obviously Denny's going to stay with Washington. I'm pretty sure THT is going to stay with the Lakers, but you know THT's role and minutes are going to be, you know, decreased once the regular season starts probably. Um, but you know it is a chance for us to break down and get a chance to really see these guys and what they might be if they were to get an extended role, and whether that be through trades or injuries or whatever. But yeah, we'll try to do some of the shorter videos as well. Keep some of the longer ones. But yeah, again, once we get more film on Denny, I'm sure we'll be able to point out some more pros, some more cons. But I'm excited. A good start for him. Wizards fans should be excited. And yeah, so thanks for watching. As always, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, comment, share, please. Greatly appreciated. And follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WordPress. And yeah, we'll try to have a video out again tomorrow. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys.